My favorite day of the week,
your favorite show that I do on YouTube. Your favorite show that I started doing that Saturday morning cartoon show.
Which, by the way, make sure you check out if you're not already. Which, by the way, make sure you check it out if you're not already.
This is Uhura.
I'm Katie Rex.
This is Uhura.
And we're going to talk about all of the new comics that come out today. Starting with a list of comics that we've talked about before. I don't really have time to cover today, but I want to mention so that you don't forget to pick them up. Out this week is Copperhead number 6, Edward Scissorhands number 6, Help Us Great Warrior number 3, Marceline Gone Adrift number 4, Imperium number 3, and Southern Cross number 2. We've covered all of those before. We think they're great series, and you should make sure to check them out this week from your local comic shop. So one of the things that's starting this week is an event from DC Comics called Convergence. Events are sort of notoriously both extremely high-selling and unpopular among fans. Convergence is going to be sort of the end of the New 52 imprint, and the premise is that Brainiac is going to take all of these different cities and bring them into some sort of like Thunderdome situation, and it's going to be very, I don't know, it sort of feels very Avengers versus X-Men to me, where it's going to be smash up battle things. It will mark the end of some New 52 characters, but some will be staying. The only ending that's happening here is the ending of the imprint New 52, which is not the same as all of the characters that they told us however long ago, not that long ago, were going to be like the characters from now on. So don't worry if you started liking them. Also don't worry if you don't like them. Not much is changing, you can keep feeling the way you feel. So out this week are a bunch of new Convergence titles. I'm really confused by Nightwing and Oracle, because I don't know how that's going to work as a versus, but maybe it's not a versus, who knows. So now we're going to start talking about traits, and this is new from Action Lab. It's called Herald, Lovecraft, and Tesla. Which sounds great, and let me tell you it is. It's about sort of a friendship of sorts between Nikola Tesla and Howard Phillips Lovecraft, and they bring in a lot of other interesting historical characters like Amelia Earhart, who by the way is totally like dating Tesla, and Harry Houdini, who's kind of a dick, but like in the way that you'd expect because he's sort of full of himself, and like Albert Einstein, and also Thomas Edison, who's a dick, and also the way that you would expect because he has like these horrible contracts that allow him to steal other people's ideas and work. It's a really fun trade. It was kind of hard to follow the singles because Action Lab is not one of the publishers that all comic shops always carry. So if you have been getting this sporadically, now is your chance to catch up. You can just buy the trade, Herald, Lovecraft, and Tesla. So that was it for traits. Let's talk about first issues. I only have one of those also. It's kind of a light week. But this week, new from Oni Press, is Kaijumax. And it's like, actually I kind of want to read you guys my notes because I take notes on all of the things, and my notes are kind of silly. So let me read those to you guys this week. If Spartacus was about kaiju, orange is the new kaiju, kaiju is the new black? It's basically, it's a prison camp for all of these kaiju, including, by the way, Robo-style kaiju, and they're like being captured from the wild, but then also there's this theme of they used to rule the earth because obviously they are, at least physically and in many cases in every other sense, superior to humanity, but then it's like if Spartacus was kaiju, which is awesome and it's great and it's a really fun series. There's a lot of like really personal, emotional aspects that are happening as well, so if you want to have your heart touched by Godzilla, this is your book. So we're going to start talking about ongoings. The first ongoing that I want to talk about is Descender number 2. I know we started talking about it a little bit. It's the one that's by Jeff Lemire and Dustin Nguyen. And it's becoming more and more like if, you remember that movie, AI, from whenever, long time ago, with Haley Joel Osment? It's like that if they had had sort of an infinite budget and infinite time. And if you didn't like that movie, I know that for some reason a lot of people really hated that movie. I promise this is way better than the movie. So it's, this issue sort of develops the world a little further, how robots get made, or androids, or however they're being referred to, and what their role is in society, and to what extent they have emotions and sentience rather than just being programmed computers. It's very interesting, and also I cried. Next up in ongoings is My Little Pony Fiendship is Magic number 2. By Jeremy Whitley, who you may remember from Princeless, that series that I'm always talking about how much I love. And this is absolutely effing hilarious. It's so much more world than I remember My Little Pony being when I was a kid. I haven't actually been keeping up with the world, so I'm not... Anyway, it's very in-depth and very detailed, and it's got a lot more going on than I remember. It's got this very appropriate, dramatic villainy that's totally perfect for a kid's comic, but super enjoyable as an adult. In the last issue, issue number 1, there's a quote, and I'm paraphrasing here, something like, evil was my only friend and darkness was my cutie mark. So, I highly, highly, highly recommend My Little Pony Fiendship is Magic. Even if you're not a My Little Pony fan, pick it up. So the last book that we have to talk about in ongoings is Rat Queens number 10. And where last issue was very much, we're recovering from this explosion, so let's take this opportunity to reintroduce everyone, because also, P.S., the comic went on hiatus. That was a very slow issue, and it really reintroduced everybody in a way that was sort of catching you back up. This issue is the opposite of slow. It introduces, I think, if I counted correctly, 672 new possible plot points. So it's crazy and awesome, and it's got all these... The body language by Shage is amazing, even with the characters who are not necessarily the focus of the scene. There's a Braga Dave moment that's really sweet. P.S. We're claiming Daves now, so leave your Dave preference in the comments. They're going quickly. You gotta claim your Dave now, or they're gonna be gone. Orc Dave's already gone. Sorry. I mean, not even to me, to Violet. Like, I'm way cuter than Violet. That's not true. I just want it to be true. Anyway, there's a lot going on in Rat Queens number 10, and it's all stuff that's really cool and exciting, including High School Hannah. And it's just get Rat Queens number 10. And now it's time for our book of the week. Wouldn't it be cool if I always announced it like that? Nobody would like that. Anyway, book of the week this week is Surface number 2 by Alesh Kott. And it continues to be like this super trippy, crazy thing. The designer on this is doing some really super exciting stuff. It's combining... So you know how people are always talking about how comic books have these cinematic properties? It's like comics can do so much more than just cinematography. They can do graphics, they can evoke multimedia sources. Comics can do these things that a lot of people aren't even aware they can do because they're so focused on comics as cinematic. And this book is really clearly more. It's taking full full advantage of the potential that comics has. And it's trippy and it's confusing and it's crazy, but it's gorgeous and engaging and enthralling, and that's Surface number 2. And you need to be picking it up. That's our book of the week. So that's our show. Thank you for watching. We really appreciate it. If you want to find me in the future, you can follow me on Twitter, for instance. That's one way. I'm at EOTU Comics. You can also check out my website, just regular endoftheuniversecomics.com. I have a Tumblr, but that's not where I was going with that. Anyway, make sure to subscribe to our channel so that you can check out this show and also our Saturday morning cartoon show with my adorable intern Julia, because she's super fun and has a lot of cool, cute things to say. I can almost speak today. Anyway, subscribe to us. Click right here, just right here, and subscribe to our show so that you can make sure you catch every new episode that comes out. And I think that's all we have to say this week. Let us know what you think. Comments, you know where they are. Leave some. Thank you.